Hello, dear kids. I hope you all are healthy and safe at your place. Today, we are going to read our next chapter, the Buddha, chapter number 20. The Buddha was a great religious teacher. He started the religion called Buddhism, which spread from India to different parts of the world. In this chapter, we will read about early life of the Buddha when he was in palace and then what happened in his life, how his life changed completely. Early life of the Buddha. Siddhartha Gautam was born in Lumbini in Nepal about 2500 years ago. Later, he became known as the Buddha. Siddhartha was the son of Chief Shuddhodhan and his queen Mayadevi. After Siddhartha was born, wise men told his father that the prince would either become a great king or a holy man. Siddhartha grew up in Kapilvastu. Chief Shuddhodhan was afraid that his son would not follow in his footsteps and would become a holy man instead. So he ordered that the prince should see only riches and happiness around him. At the age of 16, Siddhartha married Yashodhara. They had a son called Rahul. When he was about 29, Siddhartha started going out of the palace in his royal chariot. During these trips, he saw four things that changed his life completely. Let us see how. On one of his trips, Siddhartha saw something he had never seen before. An old man. Suffering is caused by old age because your body becomes weaker and sore, and daily tasks may become hard due to this. It is significant because it told Siddhartha that one day he too will become old and not live forever and be able to do everything he wants to do. Later, he saw a sick man and a dead body. He realized that life is full of suffering. Suffering means pain. Suffering is caused by the person being sick and not able to function. Suffering is also caused but the family worrying about this person. This is significant because it shows that illness can affect everyone, no matter what your circumstances are. Sickness is still a huge problem in society, whether it is something as unforgiving as cancer or something as smaller as a cold. It still affects us. It can happen to anyone of any age, including Siddharth, you, or me. And he also came to know that death also affects the family of the loved one. If Siddharth never knew his family were going to die, he may take them for granted. Whereas if he knew his family would die, he would protect them and cherish the time he had with them. Then he saw a monk who looked calm and peaceful. This made him realize that the monk's way of life must be a way to end sufferings. Siddhartha decided to give up his comfortable life. He left home and set out in search of the knowledge that would end suffering. Now, Siddhartha in search of truth and knowledge. After leaving the palace, Siddhartha, dressed in simple clothes, he went from house to house begging for food like other holy men. He meditated and often went without food for days. 6 years later, Siddhartha had still not found a way to end sufferings. He realized that going hungry and treating his body harshly would not help him. After eating a meal offered to him by a young girl, he sat under a peepal tree at Bodh Gaya in Bihar. He decided that he would meditate there until he had gained complete knowledge. While meditating under the peepal tree, Siddhartha understood the cause of all suffering and how it could be ended. Now that he had this knowledge, he was called the Buddha, meaning the enlightened one. An enlightened person is one who has great knowledge and wisdom. The tree under which Siddhartha became enlightened is called the Bodhi tree. It is worshipped even today as a symbol of wisdom. Now, the teachings of Buddha. The Buddha taught the people four noble truths. These are: first, the world is full of suffering. Second, desire or having many wishes is the cause of all suffering. Third, we can end our suffering by getting rid of our desires. And last, fourth, we can get rid of our desires by following the Eightfold Path. Now, what are Eightfold Path? The Eightfold Path taught by the Buddha gave 8 ways in which a person could get rid of desires. These are: right understanding. It means to understand that there is suffering because of desire. To understand the Four Noble Truths. Next, the right thought. The right thought, to think right and good thoughts. Next, right speech means to avoid lying, idle talk, and harsh words. Right behavior, to do good things and not steal or kill or do things that harm others. Right means of livelihood. It means to earn a living in a way that does not harm other living beings. Right efforts means to avoid wrong and harmful thoughts, words, and actions. Right awareness, to always be aware of things within and around oneself. And eighth is right meditation. It means to keep the mind calm by meditating. The Buddha traveled to many places and preached to the people. People from near and far came to listen to him. He taught nonviolence, peace, and forgiveness. After many years of preaching, the Buddha died at Kushinagar in Uttar Pradesh. His teachings are followed even today. Over the years, Buddhism spread in India. It also spread to other countries like China, Myanmar, Thailand, Japan, and Sri Lanka. This is all about Buddha's life. Kindly read the chapter and fill the bookwork. Thank you.